This is the Nintendo Switch 2 Mario Kart World bundle. This is the Nintendo Switch OLED, of which I have put in hundreds if not thousands of hours. I also have a couple of XREAL virtual augmented reality headsets that I'm going to test, trying to see how well they connect to the new Switch, because currently with the old Switch, it doesn't really work. I do have their adapter to see if we need that in order to make it all work, but first, let's get into the box. First thing out of the box, you have your instructions. Take it out, plug it in, get it set up. Inside the box, you have both Joy-Cons, controllers, and the Switch itself. The most exciting part here is the Switch. This is a day I have been waiting for a very long time. Well, can you see that with the glare? All right, there you go. It is a larger 9-inch screen. It is beautiful in the hand to hold. You got the new adapters along the side for the new Joy-Cons, which we're going to get into momentarily. You've got the USB-C port on top and on the bottom, which we'll get into those as well. You've got some big beefy fan or speaker grills down here on the bottom, as well as definitely fan grills up here on the top. See if I can get that in focus. Let's get the Joy-Cons out. Now, I'm sure there's 100 million different YouTubers out there that are doing unboxings, so I will try to be quick with mine. These appear to be the wrist lanyards for the Joy-Cons, which is very cool. I hadn't seen these anywhere else, so that's pretty interesting here. Let's see how well I can show that off to all of you. And that looks like it just pops onto the Joy-Con. We have here a certified HDMI Ultra high-speed cable, which comes in the box. Very nice. We've got my full game download, which has a scratch-off code, so I don't feel bad showing that to you. And you've got, of course, your safety information, which we don't need any of that right now either. Take the top layer off, and then underneath you've got the extra goodies down here. Let's see, right here we've got the new Joy-Con controller for the new Joy-Cons, which of course, I would imagine, nope, oh, that is a nice magnetic, look at that. Boop. And then there's a little button in the back here, you just push this, it pops right off. Magnet, pops. Show you that from the front side here. Pop, pull. Pop, push button, pops right out. No more sliding, folks. Put those over there. Continuing through the box, we have our USB-C to USB-C cable, which is always appreciated. And unlike Apple and Samsung and some of the others around the world, you still get a custom branded charging dongle. This one feels beefy, but it's not that big. We're looking at a AC adapter that has 100 to 240, of course, so you can use it internationally as well as in the United States. And 15 watts, 27 watts, 45 watts, or all the way up to 60 watts. 5 volts, 9 volts, 15 volts, and 20 volts, all in this tiny little charging brick, which is always very nice. Then in here we have the new dock. Definitely quite a bit beefier than the previous dock. It is plastic. Does the back come off on here? There we go. The back just slides off like that. And then in here you've got your AC adapter, which is a USB-C port, your HDMI out, and a LAN port, an Ethernet port for your network if you want to hardwire in. And then over on this side we have 2 USB ports as well, which are always good for charging various peripherals. And of course your HDMI runs out of here into the TV, which I'm going to have to reconfigure to show you playing on a TV shortly. Make sure I don't lose this, because that's half the reason why I bought this, is so that I could play the new game. Now that all the goodies are unwrapped, let's power on. Got it dusty already. You got power button, volume rocker, USB-C, a headphone jack, excellent, unlike Apple, as well as the custom SD card readers, custom SD cards reader in the top here. So I'm going to hit the power button, and there it is. Big, beautiful screen. Let's just show off the difference here between the two. I'll try to get some B-roll of this as well. Look at that. Look at the size difference. It's wider. by quite a bit, but it doesn't feel it. It feels quite nice in the hand. Now the first thing it wants us to do is to pop on the Joy-Cons, so I'm going to do that like so, which again, like before, you match the sides and the colors and it automatically detects and recognizes them. Okay, let's go through. English US, the Americas, accept. Now let's connect to the internet, which I'm not going to show you this part. It's definitely a beefier handset, much bigger to play, much bigger to hold in the hand and play, but feels much nicer and much more comfortable overall. Now I could of course use the touchscreen if I wanted to, but I'm trying to get a feel for the Joy-Cons and how responsive they are, and so far I am liking what I am feeling. The screen is nice. It's not an OLED as I understand it, but it still looks beautiful. All right, connection successful to my network. Now, of course, Nintendo pay all this money for this new thing, and it's going to download a update to the system in order to enable it. And now it's walking me through change playstyle. With Nintendo Switch 2, you can play games wherever you want, however you want. System can stand at whatever angle you like. Just pull out the rear stand, which I've already done. And you can see here on the back that it's got full articulating till almost flat, like so. You can now connect the AC adapter to the top of the system. Okay, using stand. It says detach the right hand for the right hand Joy-Con 2. So again, just hit that button in the back, and then we're gonna do the same. Hit that button in the back on this side, and now I can control it. Okay, choose a style. You can change it at any time. Ready to update the system. So now the system is updating, and now we're gonna wait. Real quick, while that's updating, I'll show you sliding it into the dock, which goes just like the other dock, goes straight in and out, easy peasy. That's that. Okay, system update complete. You can transfer data from your Nintendo Switch to this Nintendo Switch 2. When you transfer systems, your data will be copied from one system to the next so you can easily pick up playing where you left off. Not all data will be transferred. Data that won't transfer is news. Data that will be transferred is all users, all saved data, screenshots, and videos, as well as system settings. Downloadable software can be re-downloaded after the system transfer is complete. Now I have to sign into my Nintendo account. Okay, scanning the QR code. Okay, putting in my password. Signed into my Nintendo account. Okay, and next. Wants me to connect an AC adapter in order to start downloading data. Drat. And I am, of course, going to plug it in up top. Oh, rude! It realizes it's not an AC adapter. Okay, I now have it plugged in as an AC adapter, and it wants me to bring the systems close, my original Nintendo Switch, as well as this system, and now I'm telling it that it is done. Please do the following on the source Nintendo system. On the home menu, then open the home menu, then select System Transfer to Nintendo Switch 2. This should be interesting. Not gonna lie, this already feels tiny compared to the new one. System transfer to Nintendo Switch 2. How about that? Systems data will be transferred to a Nintendo Switch 2 system. To complete the transfer, you'll need an internet connection and a Nintendo account. Parental control setting on the system will be transferred to the Nintendo Switch 2 system. Awesome. You can keep playing compatible Nintendo Switch software on the Nintendo Switch 2 system. I need an AC adapter on both of these? My, aren't we greedy? I didn't bring enough for everybody. Searching for Nintendo 2, connecting the two systems. Now you can see here the original system as well as begin on the second system. Start download. This is going to take forever. It says keep them near each other. Does that mean that it's Wi-Fi or Bluetooth? The system will restart during the process. Alright, it's 1:43. Begin the clock now. 13 minutes left. Perhaps it won't take forever. How are we doing? Oh, 4 minutes left. Not bad. 2 minutes left. Got an email in from Nintendo that says that data was transferred to the new Switch system. Here we go, download complete. Software will be downloaded later. Next. Screenshots and videos will be imported from the microSD card that was being used with the Nintendo Switch system. Data has been sent. Please wait until the process is complete on the Nintendo Switch 2. So I can think this SD card is sufficient. It's a microSD XC, sure. Let's find out. To use this microSD card, you'll need to update the system. Okay, system update is available. Yes, update. These little switches on the back are going to be a problem because they're a lot of fun to play with. I wonder what they're rated at. Alright, the microSD card can now be used. Awesome. Screenshots and videos on the microSD card will be copied into system memory. This may take a while. Okay, 1244, and it has done 4 of them so far. That's wild. I've just been notified by someone in the comments section that apparently people are getting their brand new Nintendo Switch 2 screens scratched by receipts that are being stapled to the box. So be careful when you're checking out. Don't let them staple anything to the front of the box. That is wild. Goodness. Oh, screenshots and videos were copied to system memory. Awesome. Okay, see what happens here. Remove the microSD card slot from the back of the system. Why? Okay. Screenshots and video import complete. You can find and view the imported data in the album. Now we're going to restart. So the question I forgot to look on the box, I just pre-ordered the hell out of this thing, was what storage did I even get in this? Is it more than the previous one? Let's take a look. While that's rebooting, the storage in here is not listed on the box. System transfer complete. So now I can begin playing, it seems. The theme color from the source system will be carried over. So now we're going dark mode. Yes! Setup is complete. To go to the home, press the home button. We're going to do that. Here we go. That was so whimsical. I love it. All right, on the home screen here, we've got your usual familiar setup, complete with a little bit of new Nintendo Switch 2 coloring over there. You've got a new bar on the bottom here with updated icons for things. Nowhere to go from there. Go up, you got my parental controls on, the different profiles. But honestly, the thing that I care the most about, let's go over to my profile instead of my wife's, and I'm going to open Tears of the Kingdom, which is my favorite game. Oh no, it needs to be downloaded. Download options, download this first. Please wait. So now the question is how long the download is going to take. And I've got a 2.5 gig internet line here. I've got a really good Wi-Fi 7 Wi-Fi. This obviously is not Wi-Fi 7. So the question is how long it's going to take, because downloading anything on the original OLED Switch or on the OLED Switch, the original, etc., was a pain in the butt. All right, first up, I want to try using my XR glasses from XREAL. These are the brand new, just came out, XREAL 1 Pros. I have a whole other video reviewing these. If you want to see that, go and check it out. But essentially, it allows you to put the whole screen here in front of you in space. And the number one question that I have had about these new ones and the new Switch is whether or not it'll work just by plugging it in. I believe on the previous version, you had to use a dongle like so. So let's try it on the bottom one first, see what happens here. I plug it in. By the way, download progress is already at 9%. Okay, I've got power on the glasses. Let's see what happens. No video signal input detected. Please try reconnecting. Damn. All right, let's try that again. We're going to unplug, and we're going to plug it back in. No video signal input detected. All right, let's try with the top USB-C port. All right, that's really disappointing. It seems like that is not working at all. Let's see what happens when we plug it back into power. Maybe it needs to be plugged in like for the dock. Nothing. All right, that's very sad. However, let's try using this nifty little dongle. Let's plug this into the batteries, and then we'll plug the other end of power into here, and then we'll plug these both into the top of the Switch like so. No video signal input detected. All right, no dice on the XREAL glasses, including using the XREAL hub. I've reached out to XREAL for some information on this to see if they have any suggestions on how to make this work. I will follow up and let you know if they respond and what the answer is. That's a disappointment. All right, Zelda has finished downloading just now, though, so I'll put the time up on here of how long that actually took. But let's do first things first and open it. I'm going to open it with my profile. Let's see how long this takes. Okay, I'm going to hit continue. I'm over at Thunderhead Isles. I'm actually going to go over to the settings and turn my brightness up so that you can see perfectly. Quick settings, by the way, is to hold B. Great. All right, loading up Zelda. I appear to be standing behind a tree. Link, you're an idiot. Stand up. Ouch. Alright, well, I don't want to be there, so let's teleport somewhere else. Let's go to my house. I got a really nice house out here somewhere. Alright, let's see how long it takes to teleport. Ready? This is unedited, uncut, unsped up. Wow, look at that. Beautiful. Wanna go see my house? So here's my horse. And here's my front door. Let's go upstairs. Here's my first floor. This is all indoor. Oh, software download complete. This is all indoors. I've got a kitchen, cookpot area, a sitting area, my bed. You know, you want that to be indoors just in case it's raining. And then this whole area is upstairs. I got my weapons set up. I got outdoor space. I got a shrine. Then over here, I've got a little study library set up. I got my artwork. That's my boat. Picture of my boat. And of course over here, I've got a pool with my carpet. And the view. Let's try teleporting again. Let's go to the sky somewhere. Here we go again. Let's see how long this takes. Let's see how fast that loads. Oh, baby. Oh, that is nice. Now, mind you, this is not the updated Zelda version of the game. I haven't bought that yet. I do intend on buying it. But this is nice. All right, let's go back to the home screen. Now, here's the question. This is a SanDisk Ultra 512 gig, MicroSD, XC1, Class 10, A1, etc. If I plug this in here, aha! This microSD card cannot be read or isn't compatible with the system. It requires a microSD Express card. Now that's interesting because it pulled all of the screenshots off of this card, but it does not work with it. All right, well, guess I got my 512 gig card back. That's always nice. So now, out of curiosity, what about the old one? What happened here? Wow, the weight difference is definitely something on here. This is a beefy boy. This is lightweight and comfortable. So I can see keeping this in a bag, keeping it charged for on the road. If you wanted something lightweight, especially for the kids, and you wanted to get this secondhand or whatnot, still a good purchase, even though it's slow as hell, which drives me crazy. This machine, much heavier, but much more comfortable to hold, and also significantly faster. The screen is much better, much brighter, much bigger. I'm a fan. That being said, pretty sure that it removed all of the accounts that were not linked with an account. Now my account is linked, but my account is linked to my wife's account because she was the one who first started playing this, hence the pink Joy-Cons, which I got for her after the kids destroyed the red and blue ones that it came with. So if I hit the start button 3 times now, this only shows my wife and, oh, my son. Interesting. I guess his has an account attached to it, which is good because he is primarily the only other user here. He's 7, and he is a superstar at Super Smash, Paper Mario, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and Breath of the Wild, as well as Echoes of Wisdom. The Hogwarts game he's played a little bit, but not so much. He also loves Mario Party, Paw Patrol, and Minecraft. So he's going to be able to continue using this no problem because... oh, actually, I'm going to need to load the virtual game card on the system. So apparently this is a new thing that Nintendo has done, is these virtual game cards where I can share my game with another of my family's devices. Now the question is, can you play them at the same time? Let's find out. So I'm running it over here. It sounds good. The audio out of the new Switch 2, very nice. Alright, so the shiny Switch 2 shows that it's a Nintendo Switch 2 on here. I've got it up and running on this Switch 2 over here. Now let's see what happens when I hit load on this system. So please wait. Unable to load because the software is currently being played. Make sure the software is closed in the other system and try again. Okay, so let's go back here and let's try that again. So you're ejecting it from the other system. Oh, it's not closed per se. Okay, now it's closed, and if you know what, I don't want to load that. Let's load Paper Mario because he plays that endlessly, and I actually like having Zelda on my device. Let's load on the system, and it says please wait. Interesting little animation there. Is it done? Okay, virtual game card has been loaded. Preparing. Downloading data. So it's re-downloading Paper Mario. An hour and 15 minutes remaining. 41 minutes remaining. 40 minutes. 37. Okay. Not so bad. 35, 33, 32. Still at 0%, so it just is having some trouble counting. It seems to be lingering at 30 minutes remaining now, so now it's at 1% and 29. So we're just going to let that do its thing, because again, this Switch takes forever to download things. Now let's go over to the new Switch and get Mario Kart World. Haven't done one of these in a while. You have to scratch off the code. Okay, now I've got my code. Instructions on reverse. Select the Nintendo eShop from the home menu, then select the account you want to use. Select enter code from the left side of the screen, and then enter the 16-character download code to begin. So let's go into the store. Alright, now we're in the Nintendo eShop, and right over here is enter code. So I'm going to do that real quick. And just like that, select content to redeem, Mario Kart World, and redeem. This may take a moment. Thank you. Check the download. Let's close. And virtual game card added. Thank you. Click. Successfully loaded. You can play as soon as the data is downloaded. Well, let's see how long it takes. Let's see if I can look up online how big Mario Kart World is. Holy moly. Mario Kart World is 21.9 gig. Let's see how long this takes. All right, finally finished. How long was that? It's Mario Kart World time. Oh, this looks great.
Mario Kart World!
Mario Kart World. I've already driven 5 kilometers. Hooray! This is great. It's just a wide open world to run around and play in. Whee! Stars. Apparently running over little toads sends you flying. Alright, that's a lot of fun. I could sit here playing that all day. Here's the thing. This thing is selling like freaking hotcakes. It is the latest rage. Everyone is going out and getting it. Anyone that has ever basically had either the Switch or the Switch OLED or has been a Nintendo fan for many years is going out and picking this up if they can afford it. And quite frankly, it's worth it. It is fantastic. It's the next generation. Just playing our favorite games like you saw I was playing with Zelda was such an improvement. The screen is bigger. The processor is so much faster. I'm very much looking forward to playing the upgraded version. I'm a little bit disappointed that I have to pay for it, but it's not that expensive. However, the more games that they do upgrade like this, the more costlier it's going to get for buying all of them. That being said, it does take a lot of work to update a lot of these games and to make sure that they are fully updated and programmed correctly and take advantage of the new system. All right, next I'm excited to try out the 4K upscaling, which is only possible with the dock. So I'm going to go plug it into my TV, and let's try that out now. All right, pay no attention to the wiring and everything I got going on over here. I am currently in the middle of rebuilding my studio. Full video series coming on that. But I've got the Nintendo Switch docked right over here on my desk, and this is a 4K TV, so I am enabling HDR here. Adjust the display until the pattern on the left is visible and the pattern on the right isn't. Okay, this is how brightness will look during gameplay. That is very sharp. You know, it's not every day I get to play video games for my job. This is pretty cool. Oh yeah. Apparently I have a target over there. Boom, baby. Here we go. I don't know how I got a target, but I got one. Gotcha. You know, turning radius on this sucks. Let's do Peach in my daughter's honor, and we'll get a bright pink car here. Ba-doop, ba-doop. What? You can drive on the water? That's so cool. Alright, it's Tears of the Kingdom time. Why didn't the Nintendo Switch logo get upgraded to 4K? That's rude. I'm gonna make some coffee. Where should we go? Over there looks fun. I'm flying over right now. Corks. Hey, it's a shrine I never got. Alright, all in all, I would say that this game feels way snappier It brings some of the joy that was lost into frustration when playing this back into the game. Alright, all in all, that was a lot of fun. I'm going to go edit this thing now, and hope you all enjoyed. If you have questions and comments, please drop them down below. I do try to read and answer all of the questions and comments that I get as much as I can. This is a brand new system. There's going to be a lot of reviews and a lot of comments and a lot of information coming out over the next couple of days. Please like and subscribe for more videos like this, and as always, thanks for watching.